2021 Armenian Championship is over. Grandmaster Hovhannes Gabuzyan confidently won the event. Arman Pashikyan and Samvel Ter-Sahakyan both scored 7 out of 11, but as Pashikyan had extra tiebreak points, he landed in the second place. Ter-Sahakyan took the bronze medal. Congratulations to the winners. Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video want to share with you a notable game which I selected from that tournament. On the white side is Samvel Ter-Sahakyan, whom you all know. He was my guest several times and you had a nice chance to challenge him. Ter-Sahakyan's opponent is Grandmaster Shant Sargsyan. This is a game played in round 7 and Ter-Sahakyan opened up with e4, e5 by Sargsyan, Nf3 Nc6, bishop b5. Lopez is on the board, a6 Morphy defense, bishop a4 knight f6, white castled kingside, b5 bishop b3. In here there are 3 main continuations. Black is either playing bishop b7 or bishop c5 or bishop e7. In the game we see bishop c5, a line which can be seen even at the highest level. This move had been seen in games of Carlsen and Caruana. a4, white is starting to undermine black's pawn structure on the queen side, a standard idea in Lopez. c3, now white wants to establish a classical pawn center. Bishop goes back on b6 and a5, harassing black's dark squared bishop further. The pawn is poisoned, you can't win it, because if knight takes a5, then rook takes a5 can follow, and then d takes e5. And then after an exchange of queens on d8, white can play knight e5, knight takes e5, and white has a strong compensation. Or after a5, if bishop takes a5, then this time d takes e5, and then again the exchange of queens can follow, and bishop d5. It's difficult to give black an advice. If bishop b7, then white can remove this knight which was guarding key squares, and then can play knight takes e5, and yeah, this is a total destruction. In the game to a5, black answered with bishop a7 and h3, preventing any unpleasant bishop g4 jumps. Now, of course, black can castle kingside, but in the game, Sargsyan proceeded with the development of his last queenside piece and played bishop b7. Of course, as you may have already guessed, knight takes e4 can't be played because of this bishop d5. In the game, bishop b7 was played and bishop e3. Already d5 can be a nice threat. Knight takes e4. Black is accepting the pawn sacrifice, and now of course d5 won't work, because in this case black has a bishop takes e3 move. If d takes c6, then black has this knight takes f2 move. That's why to knight takes e4 white played rook e1, and already yes, d5 is the threat. For example, if you castle kingside, then d5, and to bishop takes e3 white can answer with rook takes e3. To rook e1 black answered with e takes d4 and c takes d4, again renewing this d5 threat. That's why black himself played d5, and we have knight c3. White is a pawn down, but the fact that black king is still stuck in the center of the board gives white a compensation. If only black can castle, then can solve all the problems. Knight e7. White was hitting on d5, that's why black protected it, and we have knight takes e4. D takes e4, knight g5, bishop d5, and an exchange of light squared bishops on d5 followed. Rook c1, this time white rook is occupying the semi-open c file, targeting the pawn on c7, which black protected by moving back his queen and putting on the 7th rank. So far so good, but this is a serious mistake, after which black's position goes down very quickly. It was better to protect the pawn with rook c8 and give up this pawn. Queen takes e4 can't be played because of this bishop g5. That's why after knight e4 black should castle kingside. But black played queen d7, and now let's see what's the problem with it. Here we have an active jump by white queen. g6. Well, if knight d5, then bishop f4 can follow. If here, then rook takes e4 check. Black played g6, and we have queen h4. Now white can win this pawn with the knight. Black protected it with f5 and bishop f4, taking the pawn on c7, and also now this dark squared bishop is going to harass black rook. Knight d5, bishop e5, rook g8. Well, you may ask, but why not castling kingside? The thing is that in here white has a crushing move. Can you find that move? The move is rook c6, after which the game is simply over. The threat is rook takes g6 check, and if you accept the rook sacrifice, then you are leaving the 7th rank unguarded. That's why black played rook g8, and I have to tell you that I was following the game online, and at this point I was expecting f3, which is actually a very strong move, but Ter-Sahakyan went too far and he made a very staggering move. Can you find his next move? Ready? Well, I have to tell you that both f3 or I don't know, knight takes h7 are very strong moves, but Ter-Sahakyan went for knight takes e4. We all know that when your opponent's king is stuck in the center, at all costs you should open up the center and target it. And in typical positions, a piece doesn't play a role, you know. All that matters are open files and the activity of attacking pieces. Black accepted the piece sacrifice, and now white rook is jumping into the attack. Already it's very difficult to give black an advice. In the game, Sargsyan played h5. Rook c8 is better actually. After which white should either play a move like rook c6 or rook c3. With rook c6 you are luring away black queen from the 7th rank, and if black accepts it, then bishop d6, this cover check is winning. But this rook c3 is also very strong and looks interesting, you know. If knight takes c3, then you are losing a key defender, and after b takes c3 suddenly black is finding himself almost in a Zugzwang type position, you know. Bishop d6 can be a threat. Now what are you going to play? Yeah, just no way out, you know. If here, then check, and then rook e7, white is winning. So in the game we see h5 and bishop d6, discover check, king f7, and there comes another heavy blow. Can you find that move? Ready? This time we see rook takes c7, white is removing the knight from d5, which is covering the e7 square. Oops, now if a knight takes c7, then rook e7 is mating. Yeah, and then queen takes e7 checkmate. In the game, black made this desperate queen takes c7 move. Bishop takes c7, rook c8, and after queen g5, resignation followed. If knight f6, then rook f4, bishop takes d4, then check, and then here, yeah, this is an easy win. That's why after this quiet and powerful queen g5 move, resignation followed. A very beautiful game by Ter-Sahakyan, which I hope that you enjoyed greatly. Once again, we got a very nice lesson on how to make use of the fact that your opponent's king is stuck in the center. In the end, a chess puzzle for you where the task is to find the mating line for white. As usual, we'll wait for your answer in the comment section. Feel free to check out my early uploads as well. We'll see you in my next video. Take care.